Hello, everybody. Joe Bag of Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Tsukihime Remake. Where last time we left off, just kind of more vampire stomping, running around with Arcuid, kind of being like, "Oh, isn't Arcuid so cute? Isn't the main heroine, the box art girl, like the best? And don't you want to hang out with her instead of Stinky Curry Butt?" And it's like, oh, I like Ciel because I've been hanging out with her, but oh, this blonde woman with her red eyes, she's so charming. I just get this feeling in my chest when I'm with her, even though I'm supposed to be pining after the blue haired one. Oh, whatever shall I do? And just kind of laying the groundwork for things moving forward. More cryptic dreams that are clearly of Roa and his past, and of his wacky shenanigans he got up to being a little weirdo and having little weirdo friends. I'm tired. I just woke up and there's no coffee. I'm all out. I need to go buy more. It's been a rough week, mainly because I don't have any coffee. I've had no coffee all week. I'm dying. I'm in that active process of like mass cell death, but they're like all my brain cells because I have no caffeine to fuel them, so they're just atrophying to nothing, turning to dust inside my skull. So I'll make do with some water, I guess. Ugh. Even though I drink my coffee black, so it's not much different from drinking water, just it's full of caffeine, which is a diuretic, which makes you like expel water. So it's kind of however you want to look at it. It's either you break even or there's a bit of a loss. Who knows? I'm not a food scientist person. I can't answer those questions for you. But I'm a little dry. I'm a little dried out this morning. It's getting cold out. The air is getting dry. I've turned on the heat. I've had to close up my window upstairs so none of that hot, dry air gets out. It just accumulates pools on the second floor where my bedroom is, and I just breathe it in all night. And I wake up, and it's like I've been got like the fucking mummy's curse, and sand is just pouring out of my mouth after I get up and cough. It's not good. It is not good. Surprisingly warm today, though. The past 2 days have been pretty nippy. Like not ridiculously, but it's been windy. And it's real flat here, so there's nothing to break the wind, and the wind's coming in off the coast like a couple miles away. So it's a nice cool like crisp wind that's slicing through you because it was like in the low 50s, maybe the high 40s. Finally getting down to some seasonal appropriate temperatures, but now it's in like the mid 50s state. It's still windy, but the other thing was it was overcast those days, so there's no sun to kind of like naturally heat you. You were just standing in the shade, getting buffeted by the wind, just being miserable. But at least today, like, I went in to go take in my garbage cans after trash day. It's like, yeah, it's windy, but it doesn't feel bad out. Even in my, well, I'm really just wearing my t-shirt and my athletic support. I don't know what you'd call these, boxer briefs. Like they're spats, I guess, biking shorts, but they're not like super compression biking shorts. They're if I say spandex, that implies like they're really tight, but they're not. They're just good breathable support. Not whitey tighties. That shit's nasty. I had to wear those when I was in basic training for 2 months. Ick. But some good style boxer brief athletic wear, kind of whatchamacallit to my Crocs. And of course with my big fluffy lounge robe on top, because I might chance, running out to my car with only my skivvies on if it's like 1 in the morning and I need to get something from like the passenger seat because I forgot it in there. But if when the sun's up, gotta at least have some decency. I live close to a police department, so I don't want them rolling up and me getting put on like uh, a registry list or something. Well, I got a frog. Mm, ick. That's the bad part about rehydrating. Right after waking up, it's like everything comes back to life in your throat, and it's not good. Gotta knock all the crud loose. Which, talking for minutes on end is a great way to do that. But when you're talking to a microphone to have other people listen to you do it, it's not that great because I can't think of many people who'd be super into, listening to me hack and like cough and like choke on phlegm for an hour and a half straight. I'm sure there's some people who would like be jonesing out for that, but they're gonna be few and far in between. Anyway, I got nothing else really to say except, oh, I should have recorded yesterday, but I was too tired after work, and for some reason, I was in the mood to play Disco Elysium, so that's what I did. And I got to like day 3. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly how I remember it is. And then I don't know what triggered it, but I was already down on like 1 health, and I had no healing items. And then I listened to like the call of the Kolomani Dakwa or whatever it is in Roy's pawn shop, and that killed me. I'm like, oh, okay. When was my last save? Like an hour ago? It's like, yeah, I'm done. I played this game. I know how everything goes. And then I didn't record because it was like midnight, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep instead. And now here we are. And another thing that may be potentially in the docket for the future is what's the game called? Heaven Burns Red. I think it's a YoStar kind of key collab project. I think it's been out for a couple years in Japan, but it finally just got its English translation, and I'm thinking I might do something with that. Mainly because one, I want to. I'm a big key mark, and good old Jun Maeda has been kind of laying low in the past decade or so. Hasn't really done a lot. Well, and the stuff he has done has been kind of like that. Charlotte was going places, but man, he's real bad with anime formats. Everything just kind of gets crunched into the last couple episodes, possibly as a byproduct for writing, for 60-plus-hour visual novels where you can just waffle on and have like inane shenanigan side plots happening. What would be filler episodes in most other things just be there, and the reader not think much about it. But then when you try to do that in a time constrained, 24, 22-minute anime episodes where like every minute counts, it's like, oof. When you get kind of bogged down in the weeds like that, and then you can see the finish line in sight, and you're like, fuck, I still have like 50% of the story to go over. The wheels kind of come off, and that's kind of what happened with Charlotte, which is unfortunate because I was liking where that was going, and the other one after that, with the kind of pink haired nun in a habit girl who had like a neurological thing. I literally don't even remember the name of the show, but I was liking it, and then the exact same thing happened where the end came, and it's like, we gotta rush everything in 2 episodes, and then they did, and then it was bad, because yeah, of course it was gonna be if you try to do that. But with a whole feature length game where you can just kind of do whatever, it's like, yeah, I can see that working out. And I did kind of snub the blue reflection people. No, is that it? Summer Pockets. Summer Pockets. What's Blue Reflection? Is that? Oh, I think that's the re-release version. Yeah. Summer Pockets. I kind of snubbed them because I started that series, and then it's like, oh, there's the kind of the re-release kind of plus game of the year, like Persona 5 Royale edition coming out with like extra stuff added. And it's like, oh, I'll just wait for that. And then it just never came out. It was supposed to be slated for like, early 2024 release. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I can wait for a few months before like diving right back on, and then it just never came out. And I don't know if it is gonna come out. I know there's an English patch for, less savorily, savorily, more underhanded acquisitions of the game. If you want to go about it that way, but like I said, when I do things for the series, if for the channel, for series, if I can get an official version, I'd like to, because I don't know, it makes me feel good in my conscience, I guess, for some reason. I don't know, I'm weird like that. But who knows if that's ever going to come. So it's all up in the air. Anyway, that's my coming up plans for the foreseeable futures. Let's get the show on the road. We hit our 10-minute mark. Yep, what's up, Hisui? I feel the morning sun on my face and hear Hisui calling me.
Shiki-sama, お目覚めの時間です。
Her monotonous voice jolts my consciousness awake.
Ohayo, Hisui.
I sit up and reply to Hisui. A flash of pain pierces my temples, though not enough to keep me in bed.
シキ様、ご気分が優れないのですか?
Just need some water.
いや、
Good mouth breathing.
今朝は普通だよ。昨日の調子が良すぎただけだ。貧血気味なのはいつものことだから気にしないでくれ。
I shake my head lightly and get out of bed.
今朝もありがとう。起こしに来てくれて助かった。
いえ、これが私の仕事ですから。
Yeah, but nothing wrong with a little positive reinforcement every
シキ様に
now
お
and again.
言葉をいただくほどのことではありません。
お礼を言うほどのことだよ。目覚まし時計の音なんかより何倍もあったかい。
Alarms, hate them.
俺は眠りが深いらしくて目覚ましじゃなかなか起きられないんだ。
Yeah, it's almost like you literally sleep like death. This is why Hisui coming to wake me up is such a big help. She even brings me a change of clothes. What more could I ask for?
時間は7時ちょっとか。あんまり余裕はないな。着替えて顔を洗ったら食堂に行くから先に行っていてくれ。
You gonna comb your hair when you're there, or? Because you got a bit of a mop, kid. Like, the hair on the top of my head's getting pretty long. Like, I trimmed the sides recently and the back, but on the top, like, my bangs, like, if I pull them straight down, I can go past my eye to, like, yeah, kind of just like the base of the eye socket if I pull the front of my hair all the way down. But I keep my hair combed back and a little bit to the side, so I'll never have the issue where it's just kind of like, oh, it's just completely short and then I got curtains on the front. Looking like a weirdo. Like it's 2008. Isu's looking at me like she has something to say. Is she nervous? She seems to be shaking a little. Looking into her fragile, gloomy eyes makes me...
関係のない話なのですが、就寝時間の後、私と姉さんは2時間おきに屋敷の見回りをいたします。
Okay.
午後9時は姉さんが、11時は私が、午前1時には姉さんが屋敷中の戸締まりをチェックしているのです。
Oh. Didn't
そうだ
sneak
った
it
ん
in.
だ。それ大変じゃないか。夜と朝だ。
決ま
Yeah,
り
but
ですから
security measures.
どうかお気になさらないでください。
You know, it must have been a lot easier when there were more servants in the house, but...
その時の話ですが、仮に私が施錠を忘れた箇所があっても、
Yeah, so
午
try
前
to be
1時
back
には
before
姉
that.
さんが見つけて施錠し直してしまうので。
Now I get what Hisui is trying to say. She's talking about the service door in the west wing.
翡翠、俺が出て行ったことに気がついてたのか。
いいえ、決して
Yeah, it's just,
咎めているのでは
you know,
なく、
hypotheticals. Not related to anything in particular. Hisui hangs her head apologetically.
あ、いや違うんだ。怒ってないよ。でもそっか。翡翠は知ってたのか。だから勝手口の鍵閉められずにいたんだな。
はい。 鍵が開いていましたので、もしやと思い、
Mm.
勝手ながら四季様のお部屋の様子を
Look
拝
at
見
you,
させていた
smart
だ
little
きまし
cookie.
た。
Hisui's voice dwindles. This must be tough for her, having to condemn her master's illicit activities.
ありがとう。おかげで昨日は助かった。翡翠は全然悪くないよ。もともと夜中に出歩く俺に問題があるんだから。ああ、でも。
I can't ask her to keep it quiet from Akia. It would only make things harder for Hisui. She may attend to my needs, but her actual employer is Akia, the head of the Tono family. Being dishonest with her will hurt her standing in the future.
アキハには俺から説明するよ。
Yeah, it's not gonna look good
翡
on your
翠は
quarterly
何も知
report.
らないふりをしてくれればいい。
Hisui makes no reply. She just keeps staring at me.
何かな。
僭越ながら、四季様は全く反省していません。
Nope.
ああ、
Do it again.
いや、はい。
Really sorry we got caught.
失礼しました。訂正いたします。そのお顔を見るに、四季様に改める気はないのですね。
Well, you know. Oof. She looks so meek, and she cuts right where it hurts.
すまない。約束があって今夜も出かけることになる。けど誓って悪い遊びをしてるわけじゃ
A
ない。
man's gotta keep his word.
あれは
Hisui.
その
I'm fighting the remnants of a vampire army so they don't kill anyone else. It's not like I can just say that, but saying nothing makes me look suspicious.
それは今夜だけなのでしょうか。
どうかな。俺にもわからない。
Yeah, hopefully.
ただ
You know, a
長
couple
く
days.
続かないと
You
思
know,
う。
less than a week and we'll be done.
では、危険なことはないのですか。
Oh, it's super
四
dangerous.
季様がまた怪我を負って帰ってくるようなことは。
Again, again, again.
ああ、それなら大丈夫。戦車みたいに強いやつが一緒だから何があっても怪我なんかしないよ。
That's one thing I can promise with confidence. I don't think there's anyone in the whole city that could beat Arcuid.
お話は分かりました。それでは私も四季様同様、昨夜と同じ業務を行わせていただきます。どう
Hooray!
か
Talked her way
お
through
早
it.
いお帰りを。
Hisui bows courteously and leaves the room. Too many vowels in that word.
ありがとう。翡翠。
She's given me the greatest concession that she has the power to make. What she's saying is, she'll look the other way while she's on patrol. So long as I'm back by 1, I'll get in undetected. Also, yeah, hey, the lines, my guy. I changed in my school uniform and leave my room. I had a headache when I woke up, but now I seem to be doing well. I'll wash my face in the second floor bathroom, then head to the dining room. And maybe when you see yourself in the mirror, it'll kind of click. Now that we're in the fall, the tap water runs cold. I usually just splash some water on my face, but today I let the water collect in the basin and dunk my whole face in. Weird. The icy water steals the warmth from my face. My eyes, nose, and mouth are drowned and I lose all sensation. Feeling as if a death mask is plastered on my face, I lift my face out of the water.
誰だ。
I take one look at myself in the mirror and notice something is off. It hits me immediately that I don't have my glasses on. I was just washing my face, that makes sense. Be that as it may. Alright, I've calmed down now. With my glasses in place, I make for the dining room where Kohaku is waiting. Did you fucking punch the mirror? He's like, oh, I don't like that. What's looking at me back? Let me just fix that real quick. After breakfast, I go to the parlor. Akia is there, having long since finished her breakfast.
おはよう、アキハ。
おはようございます兄さん。健康な学生らしい。余裕のある朝で何より
ain't
で
that
す。
the truth? Shame I don't get those anymore. Gracefully sipping a cup of tea, Akia appears to be in a particularly fine mood this morning. Something good must have happened.
兄さんも何かお飲みになられますか？
Mountain Dew.
時間はまだあるでしょ。
Zero sugar, of course. It's too early in the morning for a full hit.
ああ、それじゃあ普通のお茶を一杯。
普通などというお茶はないのですけどね。琥珀、兄さんにも一つ入れてあげて。チョイスはあなたに任せるわ。
I would say regular tea is just, I don't know, just a black breakfast blend.
かしこまりました。今朝の献立から考えますと、ほうじ茶などがよろしいかと。
Kawaku heads to the kitchen with a smile. I sit down on the sofa across from Akia and check the news on my phone. Well, there's no shortage of random news. There's nothing about any murders. I have been expecting it, but this confirms that there have been no new victims. As I pocket my phone after checking the news, yeah, it's like you shouldn't have that unless she already gave it back because of the whole you came home late, yada yada yada. He is staring at me like she's witnessed something truly bizarre.
なんだよ。携帯ぐらいはいいんだろう。今だってニュースサイトをチェックしただけで。
Or do you just look weird?
別に怒ってはいません。すぐにしまってくれましたし、朝のニュースぐらいは知っておくのはいいことですから。ただ、兄さんがそういうものを使いこなす姿というのがイメージに合わなかったので驚いただけです。
お前の中でどんなイメージなんだよ、俺は。とはいえ、俺も使いこなしてはいないよ。今朝は気になることがあっただけで、普段はあまり使わないし。話したいことや
Yeah,
知り
like,
たい
oh,
こ
is
と
there
があっ
any
たら、
news about this
本
building
人と直
collapse
接
that
話した方
killed
がいい。
dozens of people?
そうなんですか？
そりゃあ時間の許す限りは。1行や2行の言葉のやり取りでわかるのは1行2行分のことだけだし、連絡事項としては便利だけど、会話をするなら会って話した方が断然いい。
I concur. It's bad enough when I have to text something important for work and I end up having like 2 paragraphs and it's like I can just call you on the phone and we can talk about this real quick. But depending on the circumstances, that's not an option and you just end up having to play, you know, ping pong back and forth with text messages.
一部分しか表せないシステムなのに、その一部分を見た人間はそれが相手の全部分だと錯覚する
So deep.
ということですね。例えば発信者はつま先しか見せていないのに、その爪が猫のものだっただけで全身まで猫だと決めつけるような。
Wait, huh?
私もその意見には賛成です。文字だけならいくらでも嘘をつけるのが人間ですし。
I get where you're coming from, but that was an interesting metaphor to jump to. Oh, great family head. I don't know how to say this, but if someone has the claws of a cat, isn't it natural to think that they're a cat?
まあそこまでは言ってないけど。
Well, cats can't use phones, they don't have thumbs.
簡素な人間関係も
Except for some cats.
それ
who
は
kind of
それ
have
で
like
便利だ
that,
と思うよ。知り合う人全部に全身全霊で向き合ってたら体力が持たないし。
Go away. Fucking scared the shit out of me. Had my volume turned all the way up. And the Windows notification took me by surprise there.
いろんなところに行けるようになって、いろんな人と知り合えるようになった以上、人間関係も最適化させないと潰れちまうってのは友人からの受け売りだけど。
But then Naruhiko, the one who said that, lives his life in the exact opposite manner.
そう、安心したわ。兄さんにも心を許せるご友人がいたんですね。機会があれば私にも紹介してもらおうかしら。
Yeah.
もちろん 遠野家の長男におかしな遊びを教えていないかどう
There
か
we go.
じっくりと詰問させていただくのを前提で。
I realized yet again how scary my sister is. Not that I needed the reminder. Kaku brought me my hojicha while I was chatting with Akia. The flavor is subtle, but it makes for a refreshing drink. The hot tea washes away my post-breakfast sluggishness. Akia rises from the sofa without a sound. Must be time for her to go to school.
お先に失礼しますね、兄さん。私は夕方まで帰れませんが、兄さんのご予定は？
I mean, I guess we're just gonna stare at your stomach for the meantime. Her casual question makes me perk my head up. What are you going to do? For some reason, those unremarkable words pierce me through the heart. She's just asking about my plans for today, but it feels like she's asking me what I'm gonna do from here on out.
いや、
Almost like you got a
特
guilty
に何
conscience
も
or
ないよ。
something.
学校に行って終わったら帰ってくるだけだ。
そんなことなら午後の予定はキャンセルしておけばよかった。
Ugh, twist the knife. Akia mutters discontentedly.
アキハ、
いえ、何でもありません。それではごきげんよう。兄さんも遅刻などしないでくださいね。
Akia leaves the parlor with Kohaku. Oh, Shiki, you stupid little boy. I'm left alone with my thoughts once again. Until yesterday, I'd been so focused on what I should do that I never thought about what I wanted to do.
今の俺がしたいこと。
As one of the few who knows the truth, I should prioritize dealing with the vampire's minions. But if I put my feelings of obligations aside... Sure enough, Ciel's face pops into my brain.
そりゃ、シエル先輩のことは好きだけど。
Okay, yeah, and that's all you need. I'm both interested in her and attracted to her. I want to get to know her better and see her smile more. And yet, as much as I like Ciel, I just can't ignore Arcuid.
いや、違う。放っておけないのは吸血鬼のことだからだ。町から吸血鬼がいなくなれば、きっと。
Then, Arcuid and I will be working together. There won't be any more loose ends, and things will go back to the way they were before.
そうだ。俺がしたいことなんて、それしかないじゃな
Yeah,
い
we
か。
gotta hang out with Arcuid so we can hang out with Ciel. You know, just gotta get the prerequisites done. Satisfied with the conclusion I've reached, I get up from the sofa. It's 7:30. I better get going or I won't make it on time.
それはそれとして、ハルクエイドとのことは黙っているしかない。
Yeah. The two of them are like oil and water, or like oil and fire. I feel a little guilty keeping it a secret, but I have to make sure Ciel doesn't find out until it's all over. Even though the whole thing is she'll go away when it's all over, and then what was the point? Kind of missing the forest for the trees here, bud. Ten minutes. Yeah, whoa, words can't speak. Oh. Ariana kind of popped my ear. 10 minutes. God, I can't even. Third time's the charm. 10 minutes before homeroom, I arrived to find Arihiko and Ciel having a friendly chat by my desk.
あれ、シエル先輩。
Hmm? Ciel stops talking the moment I call her name.
よっ、おはようさん。時間ギリギリで投
Smell
稿
like
と
another
か、
woman.
お前さんもここ一番でついてないね。
It's like if
今
you
朝
come
は
home
シエル先輩が遊びに来てくれたってのに。
after like going over to your friend's house and they have cats, and then your cat kind of smells you and goes. That's exactly what Ciel's doing right now.
ああ、それは見ればわかるけど。先輩、 スがおかしくない？
あ？おかしいところなんてねっての。いつもキュートなシエル
I mean,
先輩舐めてんの？
I mean, she still is, but you know,
今だって俺とトーノの昔話で
kind of
盛
the
り上が
inner
って。
flavor going on.
あれ？
Like a lemon can look real good on the outside, but once you sink your teeth into it, it kind of makes your face scrunch up. Arihiko finally notices it too. Ciel is obviously in a terrible mood. Her silence is intimidating. Scratch that. It's terrifying. Arihiko quietly inches towards me and speaks in a whisper.
おい、なんかしでかしたのかトーノ。先輩めちゃくちゃ不機嫌だぞ。さっきまであんなに笑顔だったのに。
いや、俺は何もしてない。お前こそなんか失礼なこと言ったんじゃないのか？
I mean, everything he says is stupid, so you can't narrow it down like that. Ciel glares at me bitterly. No way. She couldn't have found out about me in Arcuid, could she?
おはよう先輩。
I mean, she was there, she watched it.
俺の席にいるってことは、今朝は俺に話でも？
別に遠野君になんてみじんも関心はありません。
Oh.
た
Yeah,
だ
clearly, you're
ちょっ
more
と気に
interested
なっ
in
たの
other
で様
girls
子を
than
見
me,
に来た
so...
だけです。よく貧血で倒れるとのことなので。
それ俺に用ですよね。
Yeah, but like, not you because she wanted to see you, is because, you know, obligations and whatnot. She felt compelled, but not because she wanted to. Baka. Well, that came out before I could stop myself.
見ようによってはそう言えないこともありません。まったく朝から健康そうで結構ですね。
Ciel fidgets with her glasses, looking a little embarrassed. Her polite words clash horribly with her acidic tone.
とにかく私は乾君と話しているのです。遠野君に用はありませんから、教室の隅かロッカーの中にでも入って自己反省をしていてください。
Yeah, go repent. Ciel's expression tightens as she coolly delivers her killing blow. Arihiko and I look at each other as if on cue.
つまりあれだ。理由はわからんが、先輩はトーノを懲らしめたいと。つうか土下座レベルで反省させたいと。
Full dogeza.
いえ、そこまでの話じゃないんですけど。
But make him do it on like those pointed slats they use for torture, where you kneel on them and then they put like cinder blocks on your legs to like drive it into your shins.
いや、そこまでの話と見た。こいつは人並みの情がないんでよく地雷踏むからな。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not a very good people person.
よし、そういうことなら力になりましょう。トーノ、しりとりしようぜ。
なんでしりとり？
正気かてめえ！
It's a little early in the morning for this. Ciel and I shout in unison. Our eyes meet for a second, but we awkwardly look away.
どうしてしりとりなんでしょう？説
I
明を
played
求めま
enough
す。
board games for a lifetime when I was in the honor guard. We'd go on like 6-hour drives, like multiple times a week through the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Pacific Northwest. Like, if I could go my whole life without setting foot or setting eyes upon the Columbia Plateau again, it'd be too soon.
いやー、先輩、トーノの泣かせ方知ってる？
遠野くんの泣かせ方？
Does he have a really bad vocabulary?
知りませんが、興味が湧いてきました。ぜひ教えてください。
もちろん。ただし、トーノと仲直りするのが条件っす。トーノの弱みを教えるってことで、手打ちにしてやってください。
Yeah, we can't give you the bat and then have you immediately bludgeon him over the head with it, you know. You just gotta put it away for safekeeping. Ciel, is impressed by Arihiko's deft negotiating. I've gotta hand it to him. That's all it took for him to put Ciel in a good mood again. That said...
お前、それ言っていいの俺じゃないか、普通。
だってお前バラさねえじゃん。先輩朝から来てくれたのに、お前は一向に来ないし。加えて何かしでかしたんなら、これぐらいのリターンね。
Clearly whatever happened here is your fault.
いや、でも、大体面白い話じゃないだろ、それ。
遠野くんは黙っていてください。さあ、乾くん、 ハリアップ。こうなったら話を聞くまでテコでも動きません。
3 minutes until homeroom. Just thinking about Ciel and Miss Noelle running into each other here is making my stomach hurt. There's no other way out.
それがですね、当のしりとりすると泣くんですよ。試しに1分続けてみるとわかりますよ。
Oh, he's just bad at word games.
本当に？しりとりってあのしりとりですよね。
Oh, maybe that's why he got so butthurt when Arcuid wanted to do it during her route.
そうそう。もうボロッボロ泣く。中学の頃、それを知らない女子どもがびっくりしてさ、なんか悲しい出来事でも思い出させちゃったのとか。
No, he just gets
むや
frustrated.
みに大人気で俺は頭にきましたけどね。
Yeah, it's Moe. Ciel looks at me, confusion clear as day on her face. Same, really. But sometimes the human body just acts a certain way and you have no idea why.
その繋がらない感じが嫌なんです。誰だってあるでしょう。理由はないけどダメなことって。食べ物の好き嫌いと同じです。
No, I don't. What?
本当に？
Ciel nervously asked me to confirm this ridiculous story.
はい、本当です。だからつまらないって言ったんだ、バカアリヒコ。見ろ、先輩だって呆れてるだろ。
She's jotting this down in her notebook for later. I try to change the subject. The fact that a word game is my ultimate weakness is just plain embarrassing. Though I seem to have misread Ciel's reaction.
いえ、呆れてなんかいませんよ。逆に感動しました。そんな秘密、遠野くんにもあったんですね。
Ciel's voice comes out shyly. She coughs to clear the air.
大変失礼しました。個人的な理由で遠野くんを糾弾したかった私ですが、
Yeah,
それも筋違いだと反省しました。
It was really kind of made you seem like a little person.
二度と教室に私情は持ち込まず、楽しい学園生活を送ることをここに誓いましょう。
Ciel turns to face me, a familiar smile on her face. Her mood seems to have improved. But the bell rings heartlessly, signaling the start of homeroom. We'll have to put our chat on hold until lunch.
おっと、時間ですね。それでは乾くん、遠野くん、縁があればまた放課後に。乾くんもあんまりサボっちゃダメですよ。
Yep, don't want to have to repeat the year. Although she's in a rush, Ciel leaves the classroom at a natural, unhurried pace. Arihiko waves to her back. Her verbal warning may have worked. It looks like he's gonna stick around for class today. Third period, math. The day crawls by, everything the same as it has always been. Human habits don't change as long as anything strange stays out of sight. I sit here in class knowing that vampires still lurk around town. Everyone continues the routine knowing that people have been getting murdered. Humans are so resilient. They're able to dull their sense of danger and adapt to any changes they are faced with to protect their way of life. It's a fundamental skill for all who live in modern society. Incidentally, Arihiko's been gone since the first period. Ciel's warning lasted for all of an hour. This is also a routine. Arihiko Inui won't change his lifestyle because of a big hole in front of the station. Even if he senses that there's something wrong, he can't break free from his habits. Maybe I'm just the same. I go to class knowing that there are still vampires around. I let the vampires roam free in order to stick to Shiki Tono's routine. By telling myself that they pose no threat during the day, I can meet up with Arcuid until nighttime. That I can't meet up with Arcuid until nighttime, I prioritize my own comfort and well-being while preaching about doing good. Do I lack a sense of danger? Or a sense of justice? Probably both. I threw them out the window the moment I agreed to cooperate with the vampire Arcuate. I conformed to human society while going down a path no normal person would choose. And that feels completely natural to me.
どうしました、遠野くん。気分が
No, he
悪いんで
seems
す
to be
か？
tweaking. I answer no to the voice coming from the front of the classroom. I feel fine. In fact, I've been feeling pretty good since yesterday. Confused, I turn towards the window. That's odd. Even the transparent reflection of my face looks decidedly sick. My body crumples without a sound. Distantly, I can make out the teacher's concerned voice calling to me. Feeling too good is what led to my downfall. My fading vision is probably the result of anemia-induced dizziness. Try as I might to maintain it, I lose consciousness. Everything around me turns black, like a curtain has fallen over the world. So does this happen enough that you're able to be like, oh, I'm going, let me just like put my head down on my desk real quick so I don't like flop down sideways and crack my head open on the floor? I dreamed suddenly. When I was young, I spent months in the care of a local hospital being treated for an illness. It was a dull but tranquil time, allowing me to recover both physically and mentally. Not long after I was discharged, I had a dream that smelled of blood. Some relatives took me in, and those days passed by peacefully. I was a model student, graduating middle school without any issue. But no matter what, I could never escape the touch of death. It followed me constantly, like a shadow. After receiving news of my father's passing, I returned to my family home and was reunited with my sister for the first time in years. While she had grown into a beautiful woman, parts of her hadn't changed at all. There were also two twin girls who were devoted to taking care of the mansion. I tried my hardest not to look, but I knew. I'd be able to see an end to everything here as well. I saw a woman I didn't know, a woman I had nothing to do with. It was a random encounter. Even with my abnormality, I still felt human. I entered her room. Her vitality was captivating. My spine trembled with lust. I didn't need to understand the concept of love to know that this was it. I wanted to know this woman. So I did. Inside and out. And without excuse or denial, this was the end result. The warm blood sears my skin. The nauseating stench of the stuffing that spills out of each unraveled seam assaults my senses. The abdomen is like an overturned bucket, but the extremities bring to mind something different. The scattered arms and legs look like slices of cake, red like strawberry, white like cream, yellow like sponge cake. The pungent air sticks to me, reeking of violence. The smell of blood and organs enters my nostrils and penetrates my brain. My thoughts are shaken into disarray. My sense of reality is blurred. My body becomes weightless. My eyes glued to this, something image. I hear a dripping sound, the hiss of rain, or the rush of a waterfall. It's only about 3 liters of blood, yet it feels like I'm looking at that I feel like I am looking in an endless ocean. The cross-section of any body part is captivating enough to be a work of art. The more I compare them, the more my own ugliness stands out. I feel like a soldier parachuting down to the ground. What I was looking down upon just a moment ago is actually so large that I have to crane my neck to look up at it. The corpse expands. A tsunami crashes into my mind. It's too late for me. It's too overwhelming to contain. This is no metaphor. The amount of information I'm trying to process is enough to drown me. I can't run. Can't even breathe. This is the mechanism of life. Far too vast. I hid my eyes from it until now, learning of it only as a function concept. As my consciousness grows smaller and smaller, so does my sense of self. My individual self withers away, unable to withstand its own inferiority. I am powerless to stop it. The more I fade away, the more my sins are obscured, the larger the world grows. Oh, he's having his giant woman dreams. The realization hits that I'm nothing more than an insect. The dismembered parts are like giant buildings. The spilled blood becomes a flood submerging the city. I become a maggot infesting the corpse and look up at the scene. This is what it means to kill a person. Surrounded by my own wretched deed, I quiver like I am the victim, frantically, shamelessly looking for salvation. See? You've shown your true colors now. Hearing someone speak to me, I snap out of my masochistic trance. What lies before me is very clearly a corpse. I've learned that once the human body stops moving, it becomes unwanted baggage. It becomes an eyesore. It takes up space, it's hard to clean up after. It's a hassle to dispose of. I see. No wonder I don't like having this indoors. Doesn't count because your target resurrected? Don't run from your own guilt. No matter the target, it doesn't change the fact that you're a freak. Ah, this feeling. You've always been inhuman. You can't restore a humanity that was never there. Did you really think you'd be a good person this whole time? You'd been a good person. It feels so good in the worst way. I'm gonna puke. How stupid. I've already killed once with these hands. What am I losing my mind over now? The creature I am is worth even less than an insect. Beauty? I never had the right to speak of such things to begin with. It was all a dream. A silly dream that I was a decent human being. Man, you should probably have some water when you wake up. My consciousness feels dulled, like I'm waking up from a nightmare or something. I open my eyes to see that I'm in the nurse's office. I've been here so many times I can tell by just looking at the ceiling. The curtains are drawn around me as I lie in bed. Although I'm awake, I can't move. I feel as if the blood flow has been cut off to my extremities. All I'm able to do is breathe. Even that takes conscious effort. I might pass out again if I lose focus. When this happens, there's nothing I can do but wait for my circulation to improve. Calling for help would only make me lose even more strength. I look up at the ceiling without moving an inch and finally regain my hearing. I hear voices coming from the other side of the curtain.
この国に来てから出費が増えて大変よね。安くていいものばかりなんだもの。お買い物もつい弾んじゃうんじゃない?
Oh yeah, that's great when I went to Japan earlier this year. I'd love to go back right now because the yen's in the fucking toilet. It's like 2 to 1. Is that right? Yeah. Well, it'd be like 50 yen to 1 USD. Yeah, 1 USD is like 200 something yen. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, the ratio is real good for the USD. And it's great. Perfect time to go online shopping as well. Unless they like jack up the shipping prices to make up for it.
そうそう。昨日潰した人の話したっけ？高級マンションに引きこもってたやつ。もうめっちゃくちゃいいお酒持ってたの。処分した人の持ち物には手を出しちゃいけない決まりだけど、
Yeah, no.
1分ぐらい拝借してもよかったかな。生前からの習慣でしょ。人がした人間は
人間以上の体を得たにもかかわらず、人間だった頃の趣味に執着します。
Yep, anything to keep the boredom at bay.
肉体が変化したことへの反動として、人間的だった自己にすがりつくんです。
それちょっとわかるかも。先生も若い頃の洋服大事に取ってあるし、もう着れないのに捨てられないのよね。だって一度も着れなかったし、お姫様みたいなドレスでね、着こなすには勇気が必要だったの。そんな勇気が出る前に大人になっちゃったけど。
Yep, we'll just put that up on the shelf for later.
ノエル先生。
ああ、そういう意味じゃないってば。ただの思い出話よ。でもなるほどね。本国の首都に宗教家が多いのはそういうわけだったんだ。この国の吸血鬼たちが
It's
物欲に
complicated.
走りがちなのも納得。
The general
でも日
General,
本人って仏様にお祈りするんでしょ？シエ
spiritual
ルさん、
state of
確
the
かお母さんが日
Japanese
本人だったわよね。こっちに親戚とかいないの？
is hard to describe. You know, have Christian weddings, but go to the Shinto shrine on New Year's, but also go to Buddhist temples for funerals. It's a interesting amalgamation. Very, very syncretic.
それは今関係のない話です。それより静かに。彼が起きてしまいます。疲れているようですし、
Too late. We're already
昼
awake.
食まで睡眠を取らせるべきでしょう。
It's like when you wake up early and you're over at relatives' house and you can hear your parents and them talking, but you don't want to get out of bed because I don't know, you're a kid and it's like, oh, it's too early. I'm not supposed to be up, but I can't go to sleep, so I'll just eavesdrop, I guess, from my bed. The voices belong to Ciel and Miss Noel. From what they're talking about, I'm guessing they're the only ones in here. Must have heard that I fainted and came to check up on me.
そうかしら。四季君、もう目覚めないと思うけど。脈拍は平常時の半分。体温は30度あるかないか。意識レベルも睡眠というより昏睡じゃない？
Yeah, it's real
こ
weird.
れで
Ain't
目
it?
が覚めるなら、それこそおかしいんじゃないかしら。シエルさん。
Sorry to disappoint you. Miss Noel's tone sounds vaguely cold.
それは、そうでしょうけど。
そうなんだってば。なんかシエルさんにしては歯切れが悪いのよね。これじゃいつもと立場が逆じゃない？悪い冗談みたい。鬼のかく乱っていうのかな。
Trust
も
us,
しかし
that's
てお
not
か
going
ぜ？
to go very well for you.
人のねぐらの調査、先生だけで行こうか？
それこそ冗談です。
Yes, Ciel definitely has like
風邪をひ
fucking
くなんて、
E luck.
そんな人間らしいことがあるはずがない
Like
でしょう。
bottom of the barrel.
体に異常はありません。調査は私だけで行います。
Investigating the dead apostle's lair. Well, that job would be theirs originally. Arcwood is the one acting out a turn here, killing dead apostles while being a vampire herself. But anyway.
先輩、俺、目が覚めてますよ。
I'd just be eavesdropping if I kept lying here, so I force some air into my lungs and speak.
四季君、本当に大丈夫なの？見た感じ、生きてるだけで精一杯って感じだけど。
Nah, man, just get
お
me
家の人。
get me a Red Bull and fucking pack some Zin in my lip. I'll be right as rain in a couple minutes.
ノエル先生、お家の人を呼ぶって、お葬式の準備をするみたいなニュアンスで
She
言いま
must
せん
look
でした。
absolutely, positively dire.
で、バレちゃった？冗談がわかるぐらいには覚醒できてるみたいね。どれどれ体温はと。あらま、35度まで回復してる。もしかして本当にただの貧血だった？
Yeah, you know, all the blood in his body went to his chest, so when he took his temperature in his mouth, it was
そう
really
です
low.
よ。これぐらいの貧血には慣れてます。もう少し横になっていれば持ち直しますから、その聴診器
At
は引っ
least I'm
込め
gonna
てくださ
assume
い。
that's where they did.
心音とか聞かなくていいですから。かけ
お胸の診察はまた今度か？
There's really not much to look at.
残念だけど、このレベルの貧血が日常というとんでも発言に免じて
He's not really
自重
muscular.
してあげます。
He's just
こ
got
れで
that
も先
super
生だもん
low
ね、私。
body fat kind of,
生徒の
so
健
his
康には
muscles
気を
are
使わな
showing
くちゃ。
kind of look.
でも四季君が無事で安心したわ。地下で助けられたこともあるし、ここで死なれたら悲しいもの。ね、そうよね、シエルさん。
It'd be a crying shame.
そうですね。たとえ自業自得だとしても、私たちの前で死なれるのは困ります。
Especially in such a pathetic manner like
今の
this.
ように話を盗み聞かれるのも面白くありませんが。
Ciel speaks plainly. More blunt than angry. It's different from how she was this morning. Now she's just giving me a hard time, but still, it's a bit harsh to say that I was eavesdropping.
すみません。すぐ倒れる貧弱な体質で。先輩ほど頑丈じゃないんです。
Yeah, sorry, we're not an inhuman freak.
私の体の話はしていません。とにかくしばらくおとなしくしているように。町はまだ危険な状態です。勝手に出歩いて勝手に襲われる人を助けるほど私たちも暇ではありませんから。
Yeah, we're still on the clock. We're only here for you out of the kindness of our own hearts, so don't push it.
あら、四季君なら死者ぐらいは返り討ちにできるんじゃない？というか、先生ひらめいちゃった。ねえ、シエルさん、死者探しの仕事、四季君に協力してもらうのはどう？
Yeah, you
私た
know,
ちもう
round
無
out the
関係
party,
な他人
recruit
じゃ
a
ないんだ
wacky
し。
sidekick. Miss Noel tosses me a wink. She must be talking about the same thing Arcuit is doing. Ooh, that's hard. Cause obviously, you know, it's like, oh, we don't want to step on Ark's toes or have them do it for us, but and it's like we would like to do it, but I feel like Ciel would get angry if we said this one. Say we would like to. She's like, no, you wouldn't. You would just get in our way. But then if we say we have prior arrangements, it's kind of like, oh, you're too good for us. I see how it is. But nope, it's number one.
ありえません。人手は足りています。馬鹿げた発言は控えるように。代行者ノエル。
It was a nice thought, though. I didn't even get a chance to reply. Ciel sounded dead serious. After coolly reprimanding Miss Noel, she walks over to the door.
私はここで失礼します。ノエル先生は自分の職務に専念してください。
And those would be...
遠野くんは二度と吸血鬼に関わらない。これは警告です。破った者には私から相応の処置があると覚悟するように。
怒られちゃった。やっぱり本音出すと怖いわね、あの子。
Oh, tell me about it.
ま、そうでなくちゃ私もやってらんないんだけど。
Yeah, we'd all be dead. Flav would have kicked your fucking ass. Ciel has left the nurse's office, but Miss Noel remains seated in her chair. Yes, I can feel my hands and legs again. I take a deep breath and sit up. It's just before 11. I should be able to make it to fourth period. No, you should probably go home for
もう
the
授
day.
業に戻るの？放課後まで休んでいくと思ったのに。
Miss Noel, do you have a car? Can you drive us home?
そうしたいところですけど、体が動くなら授業に出ますよ。いつ倒れ
Actually,
る
it
かわ
seems
から
like
な
a
いん
bad
だし、
idea to get into a car
あ
with
まり
Noel.
休めません。
可愛い顔なのに真面目なんだ。ますますキュンときちゃうか
Har
も。
har har.
先生ね、無理してるくせに平気そうにしている人って昔からタイプなんだ。もちろん男の人限定で。女の場合はまた別の話だか
Yeah,
ら。
when it comes to girls, you just get angry because it's like, oh, fucking what a stuck-up bitch thinks she's better than us. Miss Noel lowers herself onto an empty bed as she speaks. Is she messing with me, or... Nope. She's seriously about to take a nap.
じゃあ、善良な学生生活、しっかりね。先生はもうちょっと休んでいくから、ちょっと風邪気味みたいなのよね。食欲もないし、やる気も出ないし。
I think that's the
夏バテみたいなも
vampirism.
のかしら。
Have you been having a hankering for, like, raw meat recently? She closes the curtains around the bed, whilst whistling cheerfully as she lies down.
俺が言えることじゃないけど、教師がそんな簡単に休んでいいんですか?
Class rep will handle it.
ほんと、君が言えることじゃないわね。大人だってサボりたい時があるのよ。いいじゃない。自習の一つや二つ。私サンタクロースみたいなもんだし。ちょっと早いけど、子供たちにプレゼントをあげましょう。
You're not wrong, but you need to, like, find the time to make those times for yourself. You can't just be like, oh, well, I know I got stuff planned for right now, but I'm just not going to do it. Miss Noel gives me a truly bizarre answer and promptly falls asleep. I'd feel awkward waking her up, so I need to hurry if I'm going to make it to the fourth period on time. I don't talk about taking naps. And now I'm just thinking about sleeping during work and how nice that is. Just in case, I take some cold medicine out of the medicine cabinet and set it on the table before leaving the nurse's office. But what a kind thing to do. Fourth period just ended. Should I go find Ciel in the tea ceremony room, or eat lunch by myself? Either way, I'll have to drop by the school store to buy some food first. You really should just have Kohaku pack you a lunch. Even if it's just like a leftovers from yesterday dinner kind of lunch. I'm sure that'd actually be the easiest thing for her to do and, you know, actually be good food, so you should probably ask her for that. While I'm on my way to the school store, I spot Ciel cutting across the courtyard. She casually exchanges greetings with some other students as she heads for the school gates. Why is she leaving at lunchtime? Strange. I can't think of any reason why Ciel, who loves the school store, or at least a certain type of bread they stock, would go out for lunch. She could be off to investigate the vampire lair she mentioned in the nurse's office. If that's the case, I can't just ignore this. There's some things I wanted to confirm with her anyway.
それにアルクエイドとの約束もあるし、吸血鬼のねぐらを事前に見つけられるなら、あいつだって喜ぶだろう。
Even if Arcuid looks fine on the outside, she's still recovering from her injuries. It'd be embarrassing if I don't pull my own weight here. Alright, I'm going after Ciel. If I properly plead my case, I don't think she'll just ignore me. His case being getting down his hands and knees going, please, 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 please. I hurry and exit the school gates. Even though Ciel was just walking, I have to run as fast as I can to catch up to her. She's there, on the path leading to the station. I'd recognize her anywhere.
いや、間違いはない。
Except if you were in an underground lair and it was dark and you just wouldn't recognize her at all. How does she walk so damn fast? She turns down an inconspicuous side alley. Oh, damn, I'll lose her if I don't hurry. Oh boy, tailing mission's my favorite. Absolutely kill the pacing of any fucking game you're playing. And usually they're not very good. But after running non-stop, my legs are on fire and I have to stop to catch my breath. Though I managed to chase after her, I lost sight of her the moment I arrived in the area outside the station's south exit. It's just before 1 p.m. This side of the station is mostly office buildings, so it isn't as busy as the north exit. I only see some office workers on their way back to work after lunch.
結局、駅まで来たけど。
I clutch my chest to calm down my pounding heart and take another look around. The station's south side is quite the lovely sight compared to the noise and traffic around the north exit. But I still lost sight of Ciel. I underestimated her, thinking it'd be fine since there was only a little distance between us. She didn't notice me. You think? Or rather, I didn't get close enough to call out to her. I don't think she'd purposely hide to throw me off her trail, so that means...
急ぎすぎて 途中で追い越しちゃったかな。
いえ、こういう場合は追い越しちゃったではなく、待ち伏せされちゃったと言うんですよ。
先輩、いつの間にこんな近くに。
She can muffle the sounds of her footsteps.
さっきまであんなに離れてましたよね。
あんなにとは大げさかつ曖昧ですね。距離にして19メートル弱、ベースボールでいうところのピッチャーからキャッチャーまで離れていたと正しく言ってほしいところです。
You need to get better at this whole stalking thing, bud. I'm in trouble. Her words are lighthearted, but her eyes are not smiling. Well, that's to be expected. After this morning and what happened in the nurse's office, she's got every right to be annoyed with me tailing her. But I didn't chase her all the way out here just for shits and giggles. It's time for me to plead my case.
こんにちは、先
Please,
輩。
please, please.
こんな時間に外で会うなんて奇遇だね。
Interesting
奇
opener.
遇ですね。私はこれから電車に乗って隣町まで行くんですが、遠野くんは早退して帰宅ですか？
いえ、帰るのは後です。俺も先輩と同じ電車に乗りますから。
Yeah, what a coincidence.
ほうほう。5次元目はボイコットですか？
I bite back on the urge to point out that she's also skipping class. I can't afford to open myself up to some snappy comeback.
サボります。今は授業より先輩がどこに行こうとしているのかが知りたいです。
そうですか。保健室で私が言ったことを覚えていますか？
Nope. Or we do, and we just don't care. There's no good way to answer this. The sound of my own gulping fills my ears. If I give the wrong reply here, she'll officially label me a nuisance. Worst case, she'll send me straight back to the nurse's office.
これが最後です。私の行き先はあなたの想像通り、吸血鬼の調査です。危険ばかりで楽しいことなんて
I
あり
mean,
ま
it's
せ
a
ん。
little fun.
おとなしく学校に戻って。
I mean, maybe when you've got like years under your belt like you do, and it all becomes routine, and it's like everything you've seen and done everything, you know, it's just by the books, like mundane. But when you're new to it and everything's fresh and like, wow, look at it, look at this pile of gore and these corpses, whoa, you know, it's a whole new world. Everything you see is original and full of excitement and wonder.
嫌です、そんなの。俺、吸血鬼に関わるなとは言われたけど、先輩に関わるなとは言われてませんから。
My back goes ramrod straight as I look her in the eye. Though I said it without thinking, now that it's out there, I refuse to take it back. I care more about Ciel than I do about this vampire situation. There's something about the thought of her doing this all alone that I just can't stand.
私に関わるということは、吸血鬼に関わるということです。
Look, we're already in deep.
今のは詭弁に過ぎません。
Like, the deepest end there could possibly be.
それはずるい。学校の先輩であるシエル先輩と教会のシエル先輩は別枠でしょ。そうじゃなかったら先輩は俺の教室に来てないでしょ。だって教室に吸血鬼はいないんだし。
それはそうですが。
Yeah, because they're living in an alley on cardboard boxes right now.
俺は学校の先輩の手伝いがしたいだ
Getting
け
all
です。
stinky.
下心で動いているんです。なのにそれが吸血鬼退治なんて話になってるんで、ほんと迷惑してるだけです。先輩がもっと普通の悩みとか持っていて
Just
く
let
れ
me
た
hit
ら
on you
こ
like
んな苦
normal.
労して
You're
いま
making
せ
this
ん。
way more difficult than it needs to be. Jeez. That time I just lay out all the cards. I know how desperate I must sound, but if I don't try every move I've got now, Ciel will definitely go alone. I could let myself get sent back to the nurse's office. I've come this far. Come hell or high water, I'm following Ciel.
確かに学校の私と代行者の私は違う
And just
立場
love
と考
bomb
え
her
る
and
べ
make
き
her
でし
feel
た
guilty.
ね。一緒にしてしまったら明日から学校には行けなくなります。
It's time to gaslight gatekeeping girl boss.
まったくこれだから遠野くんは怖いです。窮地になると急所をついてくるんですから。
Somewhat exasperated, Ciel sighs helplessly. In other words, this means...
一緒に行っていいってことですか、先輩。
はい。遠野くんに見つかってしまった私の落ち度ということで、今日だけは特別です。ついてくるだけなら多めに見ます。無鉄砲な後輩に吸血鬼のねぐらがどんなものか知ってもらうの
Yeah,
も
we'll just
マイナ
scare
ス
you
ではあり
straight.
ませんし。
先輩。
Hooray! It's a date to the menacing vampire lair, full of death and despair. I must have gotten through to her, because her usual smile has returned. All's right in the world.
ただし、その前に反省してもらわなければいけません。あなたがどれほど度しが
You
たい
gotta be
失
way
敗
more
をしたの
specific
か
than that, Ciel.
分かっていますか？
Do you know how little that narrows it down?
失敗ですか？
Could she mean talking about last night when I was with Arcuid? If she brings that up, I have no way to explain myself, but...
先ほどの尾行、あれはひどいです。
Oh yeah, like I said, he's terrible at stalking.
足音も気配もダダ漏れで、見つけてくださいと言っているようなものでした。
Well, yeah, he was like
私だったからよかっ
sprinting
たも
after
の
you.
の、ノイル
Probably like
先生
heel
や死者
stalking
相
the
手にあ
entire
んなこ
way.
とをしたら、翌朝には路地裏で目を覚ますことになりますから、今後は注意するように。
Like, okay, don't threaten me with a good time. She's angry at me over my lack of stalking skills. It seems she's more upset about my clumsy attempt at trailing her than anything. I get the idea that she intended to shake me, but got so frustrated with my lack of subtlety that she had to stop and say something. It's a little too late to claim that I wasn't actually trying to tail her in secret or anything.
でもそうですね。次からは善処します。
Yeah, you need to work on masking your presence. Your ancestors are looking down on you in shame. I answer her with a strained laugh. She can be harsh at times, but deep down, Ciel is a very caring person. You ride the train for 2 stops to Kushizuka Station. Don't know where the emphasis is supposed to be on that one, but hey. From the station, we catch a bus and ride it for about 20 minutes. And when we get off at the nearest bus stop, it's another 20 minutes on foot to our next destination. It's a bit of a walk from the residential area to the center of the industrial district, but we finally arrive at a building cloaked in a lingering presence of death. Oh yeah, this place that we never really went to. Like, we stopped by it, but we never went in.
先輩、ここは？
使徒のねぐらですよ。いえ、
Oh.
でしたと言うべきですね。以前に処理した使徒から手に入れた情報でしたが、完全に放棄されているようです。
Man, there's a whole lot of dead apostles hanging around here in Japan, huh? And they seem to all know each other. I thought the whole thing with them is that they're kind of, free spirits all doing their own thing. An abandoned nest. In the end, the lead led us nowhere. This place has seen better days. It's an utter ruin, unfit for strays, let alone dead apostles. Though not far from town, it lingers here neglected and forgotten. Must have been quite a large hospital before it got closed down. I can see how spacious it is even from outside the gates. Weeds have taken root in the cracks of the asphalt. One of the wards is so damaged that it's falling apart. Maybe there was a fire? If there was, the difference between the damaged and undamaged areas is a little too extreme.
念のため、中に入って汚染状況を確認します。
Yeah, I don't want to breathe in any vampire particles or something. Ciel doesn't bother asking if I'm coming along. Perhaps this is her way of telling me that this is my own choice and she's not forcing me into this. I simply nod and follow after her. We trample the weeds as we make our way into the abandoned hospital grounds. This sky is so high here. There are no tall buildings on the horizon, allowing the blue expanse to stretch into infinity. So bright and vivid that it makes my eyes hurt. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet until you've been through like big sky country.
今は何の害もありませんね。この規模の病院ですから、廃墟になる前は大きな拠点だったとは思いますが。
地下墓地みたいなですか？
ええ、病院は使徒にとって利用しやすく、また価値のある施設です。個人資産によるものならなおさらですね。
I guess it makes sense. Just like, oh, someone's dying. It's like, oh, might as well just go swoop in there and, you know, put the finishing touches on it, and no one's gonna suspect anything. Be like, oh, yeah, the dying guy died. Just kind of shrug his shoulders and move on. We enter the ruins of the hospital building. Ciel goes through and meticulously examines each room by one. I think she already knows that there's nothing here. Even so, she painstakingly checks if there's anything out of the ordinary. It's the exact opposite of Arcuwood's careless methods.
Senpai.
Now, Arcuwood just kind of runs off the vibe-based version of investigating.
いいですよ。それぐらいは覚悟していましたから。邪魔をし。
じゃあ遠慮なく。吸血鬼は2種類いて、先輩たちがやっつけてるのは使徒の方ですよね。先輩たちが追っていた使徒。この町に居ついた使徒はどんなやつだったんですか？
詳しくは話せませんが、典型的な使徒ですよ。少しずつ町に浸透していき、勢力を伸ばしていくタイプです。グローブ・アルハンゲリほど直接的な脅威ではありません。
But more insidious, in a different way. I see. So Flav wasn't the church's target either. Flav was more like an unexpected visitor. But Arcuwood and Ciel both came to this town in pursuit of the same vampire who made its nest here however many years ago.
そうですか。そいつの名前は？
She stays still for a moment. After she finishes investigating the nth abandoned room, she sighs in defeat and answers me.
ロア、ミハイル・ロア・バルダムよ。人間だった頃は教会の司祭だったと聞いています。
Yeah, I've got to watch out for those insider threats. The name of her enemy. Roa. The same name Arcuwood gave me. It's the vampire that reincarnates at will, or something. I still don't really understand what that means exactly. And Ciel isn't going to give me any more details. We continue to search the abandoned hospital. After thoroughly investigating the first and second floors, Ciel heads for the third floor. As we make our way up the stairs, she breaks the silence.
例えばの話ですけど。
It's more like she's talking to herself, though. Oh, who doesn't love a good
例
old
えばの
hypothetical?
話ですけど。ある日、自分が突然ホラー映画の主役になっていて、何の説明もなく悪役だと知らされて、開始1分から散々暴れて、登場人物たちをみんな殺してしまったとします。1時間半、もうノンストップで。
I don't know, I feel like that'd be kind of a
殺害
boring
人数は
movie.
4桁を軽くオーバーで。
Like, sure, it'd kind of be interesting in the beginning, but by the end, it just kind of be like, yeah, oh, she killed another one. Whoa!
この状況でホラー映画の話とか、もどかしっこはなしですよ、先
Come
輩。
on, be a boy. Man up.
例え話ですから、
Stay
最後まで
masculine.
聞いてください。遠野くんはたまたま気まぐれで映画館によってその映画を見たとします。誰かが主役のそのホラー映画を。見
Cool.
終わってふと
Like
横の
like it's the
席を見る
premiere
と、
and they got the
そ
the
こには
actors there.
悪役だった誰か
Oh,
が
that'd
座
be cool.
っていました。映画のエンドロールから抜け出してきたばかりの血まみれの誰かが。彼は言います。はじめまして誰かさん。映画の世界からやってきたものです。ああ、でも安心して。怖がらないで。私は台本通りに殺人鬼を演じただけ。それがまさか終わった後に映画から追い出されるとは思ってもいなかった。
You know, I'm off the clock right now. It's entirely separate.
あなたは彼をどう思いますか？脚本通りなら仕方がないと歓迎するか、
It's complicated.
フィクションであろうと悪役は悪役だと糾弾するか、それとも映画の中に戻れと非難するか。この場合どれが人間として正しいのでしょう。
Well, I'm the pragmatic sort, so as long as it's kind of like, oh, they're outside the confines of the script and now they don't have to do that anymore, and it's like, do you want to do it? And they say no, and it's like, okay, then let's just not dwell on this too much and move on. I don't have any answer. Hypothetical or not, her story came out of nowhere. So chilling that I couldn't even begin to come up with a response.
先輩
Yeah, are you going anywhere with this? Confused about her intentions, I call out to her cold, distant figure. She lets out a short, self-derived chuckle and turns around.
なんてちょっとした退屈しのぎでした。突然遠野くんに意地悪したくなったのです。
I mean, this blood-covered villain in this case, they wouldn't happen to just be stark naked and wearing like a big cape, would they? Like a big fluffy cape, because that'd be weird. That'd be really weird, right? They'd have to be a freak, like some kind of exhibitionist pervert, ain't that right, Ciel?
昨夜そういう内容のホラー映画を借りてしまって、あんまりにも真に迫っていたので、遠野くんにもホラーを分けてあげようかなと。
I don't know, that sounds like some fucking schlock.
そうですか。突然意地が悪くなったことはどうかと思いますけど、
Like some
その映画
B
自
movie
体
a
は
film
面白そ
student
うで
would
す
try
ね。
to make, because they're like, oh,
二
this
重
is
構
so
造
high
でよくできてい
concept.
ます。
But they just
タイ
don't
トル
have
を
the
教えてく
proper
れれば、
techniques to make it
俺も
work,
借りてみますよ。
and it just kind of ends up not being good.
え？この事
So like
件が
not
片
even
付いた
not even
ら
in like, oh, this
ぜひ
movie is so bad it's good way. Just like, no, this is just uninteresting. Like it might find its way, you know, onto like best of the worst. And but it wouldn't be one of the good ones. It's the one where they, you know, cut to like everyone watching it and they're just kind of like bored on the couch and like they have nothing interesting to say. And then it just jump cuts and like, okay, spin the wheel and we'll do a different one. And then you get like a defending yourself from edged weapons one, and then it's like, whoa! And then no one remembers the shitty horror movie. At some point during our conversation, our investigation reaches its end. We arrive at the last remaining staircase on the 3rd floor. The ceiling is collapsed here, granting us a clear view of the blue sky outside. This is...
おっと、この部屋で最後ですね。残念。いえ、幸いなことに使徒の痕跡はなし。今回は完全に外れでした。
That's good, I guess. Ciel's voice seems a little more cheerful than it was earlier. Now that our investigation is over, and she has deemed this place safe, she probably no longer needs to be as cautious as before. I think we should go back if we're done. Think I'd like to go back if we're done. Think we can go back if we're done. Should, can, or like. I like can. Yeah.
そっか。なら戻りましょう。さすがに疲れました。昼間とはいえ、廃病院っていうのも気持ちが悪いし。
I can see him having like particularly deep feelings about
お
hospitals.
や、あの地下広場でも音を上げなかった遠野くんらしくありませんね。
It's more ingrained in his psyche.
あのですね。あそこまでぶっ飛んでると、もう驚きしかないんです。一方、廃病院は立派な都市階段ですから。
Really?
短すぎて、こっちの方が怖いです。
Maybe it's because I've seen so many, like, I don't want to say I've seen dead people, like, oh, the movie quote, but I've been around dead bodies enough for it to not be weird and just kind of not be like, Like, some people are kind of freaked out, kind of uncomfortable with funerals and stuff. I've mentioned before, like, hell, even earlier this episode when I was in the honor guard, I've done over 100 funerals. I've met and, like, talked with people in the hospice care. You know, the families, yada, 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 this, that, all the other. Like, it doesn't bother me. I just have such a tolerance to it. It's like, yep, it's a part of the life. It sucks, but yeah.
なるほ
And
ど
hospitals are just where that plays
そう
out.
いうことなら夜についてきてもらえばよかったですね。遠野くんの怖がる顔見るチャンスだったの
I
に。
mean, yeah, in hospitals in particular, it's like, yeah, that's their. It's kind of part of the whole concept of the place. You know, people go there when they're sick and injured, and the whole point of them is for them to get better. But you know, it's also the natural conclusion of, oh, if you're really sick and you're really injured, you just die. And if you go to the hospital, you're gonna die there. So it's really ordinary, mundane. It feels weird to state it that way, like their death. It's that if it happened somewhere else, it'd be more like, oh, that's fodder for some ghost stories or something. But if it's just kind of like, yeah, it makes sense for it to happen here. It's kind of part and parcel of the general concepts. Then what's the big deal? Like, sure, it's a tragedy for the people involved and, you know, their relationships and all that. You know, it's still loss of human life, but it's not like it's a fucking murder basement in some like old abandoned creepy house. It's a clean modern hospital. I'm going in circles now because I'm unable to express myself properly, so we'll just move on. You've gotten the meat and potatoes of what I'm getting at. All right. Ciel casually says something unbelievably scary again. I guess she's not done teasing me yet. But at least we're done with this place. Ciel agreed to my proposition, so we quickly leave the hospital. I thought the same thing when we first arrived. But the sky is really vast and beautiful here. Is it the hospital you were admitted to? Way back when? It's just past 3 p.m. when we get back to Soya Station. We've missed all the afternoon classes. Even if we went back now, school would already be out. Though I should at least go back and grab my bag. Wow, that was embarrassing. My stomach loudly announces its discontent over me skipping lunch.
ふむ空腹ですか遠野くん。
恥ずかしながら購買部に行く途中で先輩を見かけたから。
Hey man, he's been walking around all day. Cut him some slack.
ご飯食べていきます？ちょうどこの辺りにいいお店があるんですよ。
Oh god, are you bringing us to that Indian place?
え
Whose name I can't pronounce. I freeze up at the unexpected turn of luck. Going to a restaurant means I get to eat out with Ciel. Nice! Even if it's a trap, I'll happily fall for it. God, I'd love to, but...
いえ、あまりお腹は減ってませんから。
What are you being so, like, meek for now? The prize is in sight. You gotta reach out and grab it. Oh, that's a lie. I had a big appetite yesterday, and today is no different. But sadly, I don't have the money to go dining out this month. Ciel even said it's a good place, so it'll probably be eye-poppingly expensive. As heartbreaking as it is, the manly thing to do would be to decline.
まあまあそう言わずに一食ぐらいでしたらおごっちゃいますから。
Hooray!
先輩らしく手伝ってくれた後輩へのお礼をさせてください。
It's like me when I travel with work. I'm one of the, like, senior people in our group. Well, of the young guys, anyway. Which means I make more money. Which means I get to pay for drinks and dinner when we go out sometimes. Especially for the new people, because if you don't know, if you're, like, brand new, like, fresh out of basic slick sleeve, you are under the poverty line with how much money you make. Though the fact that you don't have to pay for rent or food or anything like that, or utilities, or insurance or dental, well, medical insurance and dental insurance, it really softens the blow. So it's pretty much like that $30,000, $20,000 you're making or whatever just goes straight into the bank account. But still, you are making a piss poor amount of money if you want to actually go out and like buy and do things. Ciel managed to see right through me. That's as far as my act goes. There's no way I can refuse when she smiles like that.
すみません。実はお腹が減って倒れそうでした。お願いですから、その素敵なお店に連れて行ってください。
I prostrate myself before Ciel.
はい、素直な返事で大変結構です。それでは可愛い後輩のため張り切って一肌脱ぎましょう。
She leads me towards the shopping district with a skip in her step. Is she that happy I asked her to treat me? The area is crowded with a bunch of small eateries. Perhaps it's one of those well-hidden 3-star restaurants. Yup. Okay, we're at a curry shop. No, let me correct myself. We're at an authentic Indian curry shop. It's bleeding authenticity no matter where you look.
おっと残念。ランチタイムは終わってしまいましたか。スパイシーチキンはつきま
Yeah,
せん
gotta
ね。
pay extra for that. Ciel looks genuinely disappointed.
はい、どうぞ遠野くん。
Ciel hands me the rewards card. It is fully stamped and written in bold letters, and the prize for a full card. Amazing! A free curry meal?
はい。
Oh, so you can eat for free while she gets whatever she wants. I can see what she's getting at, but I make sure to confirm with her just in case.
カレーセット無料券です。どうぞ好きなセットを頼んでください。私のおすすめ
I
は
might
バタ
actually
ー
get
チ
some
キンカレ
Indian
ーで
for
す。
lunch.
辛ければいいというものでもありませんし、
Ah, but it
遠
depends
野
what
く
you
んは
want.
初心者ですし。
They actually got some pretty good, like, authentic Indian food around here. And if you want to split hairs, there's a Pakistani restaurant too, which, you know, we can get into like ethnic cultural divides about how much of a difference there is between, you know, Indian and Pakistani cuisine. And then we can all agree that it's the British's fault and move on. But the Pakistani place is just, it's so much more expensive, but it's so much better. Not that the Indian place is bad. It's good, but it's definitely it's the kind of place where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna pay $16 for some like some butter chicken or like chicken tikka masala. But then the Pakistani place is like, oh, I'm gonna pay like $30 for a little more fleshed out, like entree, like whole course meal kind of thing. And it's like, they're both really good, but time and place, and well, however my finances are looking right now, because I haven't actually looked at them in a hot second, but it's right after payday, so I should be good. I can afford to splurge a little, get the appetizers, and they even have like really nice rice pudding that I fucking go crazy for. I love rice pudding, if you don't know. In fact, you probably wouldn't know that, but it's really good.
だよね。そういうことだよね。
Mm-hmm. I nod and give the server my order for the butter chicken curry meal, pretending not to see Ciel's fingers automatically gravitate to a meal marked on the menu as a level 10 in spiciness. But to my surprise, she only orders chai.
先輩、飲み物だけでいいんですか？もっとこう、ほら。
You know, eat something? We've come all the way to a curry place on her recommendation, so it'd be weird if she didn't get a serving of her favorite food.
いえ、私はお昼はちゃんといただきましたので、夕食前だし、今食べてしまうと1日4食になっちゃいます。
I can also see where she's coming from, like a level 10 spiciness. There's not a very good dignified way to eat that. And you know, you could even, if you're being a little you know, if you want to stretch the meaning of the word, you could even consider this a date right now. And do you really want to be slobbering and sweating and snotting, eating your level 10 spicy curry in front of the cute boy you brought out? I don't think so. Though personally, I'm not the kind of person that would be put off by that. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, look at the snot streaming down her face from how spicy the curry is. Wow, what a woman. But I'm also not going to be put off by it. I'm going to be like, yeah. If anything, I'm going to be impressed. Like, wow, you're able to handle that? Fuck. I'd be like in the hospital if I had that. In other words, she's practicing self-restraint and considering what a healthy caloric intake would entail for a girl her age. Ooh, look at that naan. The butter chicken curry is delicious. Perhaps it's because of the butter, but the curry sauce is the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. The naan is warm and soft, and my taste buds are overwhelmed by the flavor in each bite. This place is incredible. Curry Shop Masayan. Yeah, that's what it was. I knew it. It was somewhere in my head, but all I could think was like Anherberg or whatever the fucking cafe where all around Type Moon and stuff takes place. However, I also think it's the place they go to in... Oh god, is that where they go in Plus Disc, where they get the pies? It might be. It's been a while since I read Plus Disc. However, as good as it tastes, it's a little nerve-wracking eating in front of Ciel. She's staring at my food without even blinking. I feel like a yoga trainee sitting on a bed of nails. Can't savor the sauce I just scooped up in my spoon like this.
Senpai, ちょっと食べます?
I light-handedly turned my spoon towards her in to test the waters. Light-heartedly, not light-handedly. That'd be strange. I'll happily split some of the curry onto a plate of her own, so she'll have some.
はい、ちょっとだけなら。
Like a happy kid, Ciel opens her mouth and gives my spoon a little nom. It all happened so fast that I didn't even have time to react.
いえ、スプーンじゃなくて小皿に分けるという意味だったんですが。
ごめんなさい。つい釣られちゃって。
Like a fish that couldn't ignore the bait any longer, just lunged right at it. Yeah, what a big catch it turned out to be. Ciel's shoulders tense up in embarrassment. I'm just glad I got to see an amazingly cute side of her, so there's no need for her to apologize.
失礼しました。小皿に分けるなんて全くの想定外だったので。
先輩の中でどんだけ心が狭いんですか。
She's got a little tunnel vision there.
はい、どうぞ。
One track mind.
何も一枚食べてください。
Like a whole piece, or just like a chunk ripped off of it? Damn, a whole piece. I split the sauce between our plates and go back to eating my portion.
遠慮しないで食べてください。もともと先輩の日々の努力の成果なんですから。間食については考えない方向で。
はあ、そういうことではないのですが。
What? Just that we gave you the whole piece of bread? Ciel too many S's. Sheepishly takes a spoonful of curry. And then she makes that face. Seeing her smile like she found heaven in a single bite makes me want to order seconds. Yeah, I'm sure the waiters want you to order seconds too. If I can see her smile like that, I could keep eating curry forever. We finished our meal. I wonder if the owner prides himself on taking good care of the regulars. We were treated to some complimentary tea, so we're sticking around to relax a little. We talk idly about school for a while, but then Ciel straightens up.
いい機会だから聞かせてください。どうして遠野くんはこの事件に関わるんですか？
'Cause we kinda
あんな目にあったのに
got roped
怖く
into
な
it.
いんですか？それとも 使徒を殺せる異能があるから怖くないとか。
If only. She gets straight to the point.
いえ、怖いですよ。銃を持てば戦争は怖くなくなるなんて話は聞い
I
た
mean, it
こ
gets
と
a
も
little
ない
less
し。
scary, not gonna lie. It's kind of wigged out when I had to go to, do some crazy ass shit in Afghanistan, and all they gave me was a fucking helmet and an axe, and I'm like, and they're like, yep, just stand on the stairs and stop anyone that tries to rush up here, as they like fucking lock the crew door behind me, and I just have to stand in front of this mob, and I'm like, okay. Like I really even just a pistol or something would be really good, but I guess I'll just put on my best menacing look and like stand at the top of the stairs.
自分にどんな武器があっても怖いものは怖いです。逃げられるものなら逃げてしまいたい。
I almost got a rocket launcher though. I would have been way less scared if I had a rocket launcher. You'd be less scared of the vampires too, Shiki, if you had a rocket launcher. AT-4. The armorer was going to give it to me, but my sergeant I was flying with said, "What the fuck? No, give that back." And then I had to give back the rocket launcher. Just because, I don't know how to use it. It's like the instructions are printed on the side. I can figure it out. There's no point trying to sugarcoat this. As someone who can see death, I think I'm actually more cowardly than most.
本当は逃げたいんですね。でも、ならどうして？
どうしてって、そんなの。
To maintain the peace in this town, to give solace to the souls of the victims, to protect the people close to me. Those words flash across my mind, but they're only secondary. The real reason I can't run away is because I still remember what I saw that night.
そんなの決まってます。先輩が頑張っているからです。
I say what's on my mind in a tone filled with respect and appreciation. That night, trapped within that inescapable extreme cold, Ciel fought all alone. Not for herself, but to protect the lives of the people she didn't even know. Unlike me, who was just trying to save his own ass, she gave everything. She threw herself onto the front lines to protect all those behind her. That's right. The reason why I keep thinking of that moment, even when I'm falling asleep, is because it was so noble. I was both captivated by Ciel's actions and struck by the heroic heroism of it to a degree that I couldn't help but tear up. That's why I'll always remember that. Even if I'm nowhere near as strong as she is. Even if she will receive no gratitude from people she saved, at least I'll remain to remember her sacrifice. That way, at the very least, even if it's just me, someone will be there to thank her.
私が頑張っているからですか？
はい。人知れず戦ってくれている人がいるんだから、こっちだって簡単には逃げ出せません。
Yeah, makes you think like,
という
well,
か、
fuck,
そも
then
そ
I
も
guess I gotta do my part. I was saved by that very someone. Probably wouldn't be here if Ciel hadn't offered me her hand on that day when I killed Arcuid.
そもそも先輩がブローブを倒してくれなかったらみんな死んでいたんだし、俺がやってることは単に先輩への恩返しみたいなものです。
In the end, the truth is too embarrassing for me to say out loud. Still, I think my feelings of gratitude have reached her.
ああ、でも先輩の足手まといになってるのは変わりませんね。
Well, yeah.
相手はもう死んでいる。相入れない敵だって分かっているのに割り切れない。
The fact that they look and act like humans continues to put a damper on my resolve. Vampires or not, I have to overcome my inner conflict.
怖い怖い言ってられませんね。先輩の
Why
役に
can't they
立ち
just
たい
be
な
like
ら
giant
もっ
bugs
と
or like
強い心を
monsters
持
or
たないと。
something? Then it'd be really easy to kill them.
いえ、それを直すなんてとんでもない。それは良くない勘違いです。
Yeah, don't turn her little fluffy dog into like a scary looking Rottweiler or something.
先輩
But like one of the Resident Evil like scary Rottweilers, not one of the ones that are just kind of normal. Just like normal dogs that aren't trained to be like house protector dogs. And that don't have cropped
失礼
ears.
しました。
Cropped ears are bad
で
and
も
cruel,
そこはぜひ
but I can
そのままで
understand some breeds of dogs kind of need to get like a
弱く
cropped
ても
tail.
私
due
は
to the
そんな
fact
遠野
that
くんがいいです。
well, they're
いちい
bred
ち
to have
迷っ
cropped
て
tails,
し
so
まう
if they have
人
a
だ
fully
から
long tail, they'll
私も
injure
守り
it.
たいと思うんです。
Dang. I'm not sure if I'm more embarrassed or happy, but either way, I can't look her in the eye right now. Likewise, Ciel doesn't seem to be able to meet my eye either. She's covering it up idly by tapping her teaspoon. 5 minutes pass just like that. The tea has gone cold. No, you could have drunk the tea and then made like some small talk comment like, "Wow, this tea's real good, huh?" And then she says, "Yep." And then you go back to your silence. But at least you would have tried. We can't stay like this, so I push myself to find something to talk about.
そうだ先輩。
Do you like jazz?
先輩はすごく強いけど、格闘技とかやってるんですか？ほら、武器もいっぱい持ってたし。
Ah, damn it, what am I saying?
格闘技とは言えませんが、基本的なサバイバル技術は教え込まれました。あとは対吸血鬼専門の対処法をいくつか習得したぐらいです。
Well, like how to defend your neck?
骨剣も結界も秘跡もそれなりに使えると思います。
You know, you just threw a bunch of proper nouns at this guy. Who's gonna be like,
そうなんだ。
"Oh, really?
俺は見るこ
Wow."
としかできないけど、先輩はやっぱりいろいろできるんだね。
I laughed to forcibly cover up my foolishness. But for some reason, it seems the mood has shifted.
見るだけですか。私もまだ詳しい説明を聞いてはいませんでした。遠野くんはグローブの腕を切断していましたが、あれはどういったものなんでしょう。
But before we move on, I will say black keys still trigger like a guttural reaction to me. Because I played 2015 launch JPFGO back when rolls were fucking 40 Saint Courts for a 10 pull. And there was no guarantee of getting a 4-star CE. And sometimes you just eat shit and get like black keys, fucking coup, and like that be it. And it wouldn't even be like Stay Night coup. It'd be like a prototype coup who's not as good. He doesn't have like the super survivability. And it's like, wow, I just got absolutely fucking dicked on here. Amazing.
どういったものって。
It'd be easier to demonstrate, but I don't want to take off my glasses and see Ciel covered in those awful lines. But one way or another, I managed to put my abilities and the lines I see into simple terms.
直視の魔眼、死の概念を捉える魔眼なんて。
Yeah, they're super cool, huh?
そんなに珍しいんですかこれ。先輩の方が何倍もすごかったけど。
Yeah, but your ability is specialized to an absurd degree.
珍しいとか強いとか、そういった次元の話ではありません。これは魔術と魔法の関係に近いです。
Again, you're throwing proper nouns
私の
out
国
here.
権や武装は言ってしまえば確かに超常のものではあるが、今の技術でも到達できる物理現象です。戦闘機や空母を個人で保有できる人物とそう大差はありません。一方、あなたの魔眼はどうあっても今の技術では到達できない現象です。
Some real fucking wizard shit.
死に向かうのではなく、死を形にするなんて、それこそ人の手に余ります。厳密に言えば、人間はまだ死を知らない。まだ誰も見ていないものをあなたは見ているようなものです。
Cool. What a strange way to put that. Surely humans know what death is by now. Well, they know the concept, but like what lies beyond, I don't know. Death is all around us.
人間は誰だって死にます。みんな生きているうちは経験こそしないけど、死はやってくるんじゃないんですか。
Yeah, but normally if you interact with death, you know, big proper quotations mark capital D death, you just die because you're dead. But you're able to like interact with it and be perfectly fine.
それは生命活動の停止に過ぎません。人間という装置が活動できなくなっただけの結果を
And also we're
私たち
talking
は
about
死と
like
呼んでいるだけです。
oblivion, non-existence, like return to the void death.
人間が死んでも失われるものは何もありません。ミクロの視点で見れば素粒子は失われていませんし、マクロの視点で見ても個人が死んだところで星に損失はあり
Conservation
ま
of
せんか
matter
ら。
stays the same.
でもあなたの目が見ているものは違います。過程を飛ばして物事を終わらせるのなら、それはエネルギー保存則に頼らないある司祭からの受け売りですが、使徒はこの宇宙に未だないもの。あると想定することで多くの事象を説明できるけれど、実在してはいけないものとされています。
I guess I can see how that works. I nod solemnly at her explanation. Ciel stares at me sternly.
ごめんなさい。全然わかりません。もう少しレベルを下げて教えてください。
Yes, like you're talking to a child.
つまり空想上のもので
Don't
す。
use any
フ
proper
ァンタ
nouns
ジーで
either.
すね。ありきたりのものどころか、どこにもないものってことです。まあレアケースなのは確かですが、神話にはそういった魔眼の伝承があるので、過去に何人かのホルダーはいたんでしょうけど、でもその目ならグローブを切断したのもうなずけますね。てっきりあのナイフが特別なものだと勘違いしていました。
Like, no, it's just a pretty good knife.
それでその目は遺伝ですか？遠野くんのお父様もそういった目を持っていたとか。
I
い
don't
え
know.
違いますよ。親父は普通というか、うちにこんな目を持ったやつはいません。異常なのは俺だけです。子供の頃事故に遭ったって言いましたよね。
Yeah, you died
そ
and
の
then you came
後遺
back.
症なんです。これ。
Took a little souvenir.
後遺症？生まれついてのものではないということですか？
はい。線が見えるようになったのは7年前からですし。
But, you know, if anything, well, he might have been born with it, but it's kind of like a genetic switch. You know, you're born with it and it's turned off, but then his traumatic experience, you know, flipped the switch to on. Ciel takes a long, hard look at me, then gets up from the table with a deep sigh.
私、勘違いをしていたっぽいです。調べ物ができたので今日はこれで。
Okay, bye. She takes the bill, pays at the register, and leaves before I can stop her. Or so I thought. She comes rushing back in.
大切なことを言い忘れてました。遠野くん、ちょっと立ってください。
What? I stand up like she asked me to. Ciel carefully looks me up and down.
私はこれで帰りますが、くれぐれも夜は出歩かないように。その目があるからって一人で吸血鬼を探したりしちゃダメですからね。
Well, yeah, definitely not by himself. He'll get fucking stomped, but... Taken aback, I stutter without thinking. Don't go out at night? Without even breaking my promise to Arcuid.
遠野くん、
あ、いや、ええ、わかった。わかりました。一人
We'll
で
just
吸
go
血
look
鬼
with
探しなん
Arcuid.
てしない。
よか
Not
っ
by
た。
herself.
約束ですよ。
There you go, that promise, we didn't lie. Satisfied, Ciel smiles and makes to leave, this time for real.
あ、待って先輩。その、今ので一つ気になることを思い出しちゃって。吸血鬼って不死身なんですよね。
ありえませんね。呪いならともかく、人
Always
間でいう
regenerating.
風邪をひくなんてナンセンスです。死者に免疫機能はありませんから。
Mm-hmm.
だよな。なら、神祖ってやつも同じ。
I'd assume?
真祖に至ってはありえないというより、あってはならないです。彼らの免疫機能を活発化させるウイルスなんて、
Yeah.
下手したら人類絶滅クラスです。
Different way.
ところで、
I
なん
guess
で
it's
そん
because
な
they're kind of like
話
a
を？
different taxonomy. Like they're like true ancestors are like Earth spirits in a way, so it wouldn't make sense for a virus of the Earth to be able to affect them. I guess they'd have to get like Dead Space, like evil, like beyond the void outsider, kind of fucking evil bird flu or something would have to transmit to them.
ああ、いや、なんでもないのです。それじゃあ先輩、また明日学校で。
Continuing this discussion would only cause more trouble, so I waved goodbye to Ciel.
また明日。はい、また明日ですね。それではごきげんよう、遠野くん。
Ciel leaves so quickly, I can all but hear the wind swirl in her wake. Well then, a lot has happened, but for now I have to go back to school. I've got to grab my bag and get to the mansion before the sun sets. Nice. Date scene accomplished. All right. We're just fast forwarding, kind of little montage here. Yep. Daily night scene. Nothing substantial happened. Wow. Fantastic.
あらかじめ言っておくと、俺は嘘は言っていない。
Just like I said. But, ladies and gentlemen, that'll have to wait till next time, because otherwise we'll be going up for like a 2.5, 3-hour video, and I need to get this up right now, so I can't allow that to happen. So with that, as we're calling it, once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, check out the Discord in the description down below, and I will see you guys all later for the next episode of Tsukihime Remake, where we will continue the Ciel route and probably totally not encounter anything mysterious in the night with Arcuid. That'll be real scary and potentially dangerous and affect the plot in any way whatsoever. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye now.